Hi everyone and welcome back, or welcome if you're new. Today I wanted to do a little Techo Kaigi, some review mid-year. It's nearly the end of June and I wanted to just step through what I was using last year. What I was using for the first half of the year. Don't worry, I'm already planning 2024. What has been working, what hasn't been working, what I added along the way, and what I'm going to take away. And yeah, we'll see what we're going to end up with. There's quite a few changes, I think. So let's start with the weeks. I'll move these guys to the side for the moment and we'll look at these two books. So if you've been here for a while, you know that this is my health journal and it works. I'm going to keep going with this one. I've got my Zebra Sarasa Grand red here. It's a Cassie, I think it's called is it called a Cassie red? I'm not sure. But in here, I've got the Uni 1 ink because the Uni 1.38 is my favorite ink. I've just got a couple of Pandora charms on here from the Lunar New Year range. I think they're just so pretty. And yeah, this guy just works. I've got fun Coffee Monsters Co. bits and pieces in here, some Marshmallow Studio. I'll just show you the week's cover itself. It's the Plate of Confectionary's cover, and I've got it inside of this Sojourner leather cover. You can see it's a very floppy one, and I just think it's so pretty with the pink and the red together. I really love it. So I've done multiple flip throughs of this book on Instagram and I think here on YouTube as well. And I'm not really using the monthlies so much. I'm putting in a few appointments here and there, but not really using them all that much. I will try to get back into that. I'm going to struggle with monthlies. I started out my year just writing on this side and then some trackers on this side. I wasn't going to stick with the trackers, but I ended up 100% sticking with the trackers. In fact, I added more trackers. I had a week here where I was away, a couple of weeks where I was away, so I did not do the trackers, but then I got back into them in full force. And yeah, really enjoy having them in here. I used to write a little summary of the week at the bottom, but then I decided to add a skincare tracker. So I've got sleep, hydration, movement, and skincare. Here I write a little snippet of the day, something that important that happened, or some fun thing that happened, or whatever. And this is the current week. And then in the back, I have my list of medications, a list of allergies, a list of procedures. I've been tracking light and easy meals, whether I like them or not. Right at the back, I'm just tracking appointments here with my doctor. So I actually take notes with my doctor there. And another thing that I've added in here is a medication prescription review. So occasionally, my prescriptions all stay at the chemist. So occasionally I will just check in with them and see how many repeats of everything I have left. Because at the moment I'm on a few different meds, which is annoying, but it is what it is. So that's my health journal. It's going to stay. It's even going to stay in this cover, I think. It's just a neat cover that works quite nicely for me. The next one is my other Hobonichi weeks. And this has been awesome, but I'm probably going to shift out of it even in this next half of the year. But let's have a look at what it was. So this is my everyday planner, so personal planning, and I've just got some cute deco throughout the front. I'm not using the monthlies really. I mean, a little bit just to kind of track stuff. You can see I use it a lot in March and April and May and June. You know what? I'm using the monthlies. Yeah, I am using the monthlies. I've been putting things in here, so and tracking out the future stuff as well. Okay, I lie. I am using the monthlies. I just haven't decorated everything yet. All right, so then I've put in here a couple of sample ideal weeks of work, because this was my work and personal planner all in one. That was the plan for this. I filled in the front end with some Happy Mail type stuff because I didn't introduce this to my lineup until a bit late. And the reason for that, let's come back to this in a second, is because this was going to be my personal planner. This beautiful cover, I absolutely love it. I love this book in here. Like, it's all gorgeous. It's all set up so beautifully and pretty, and I just love it. But I couldn't make it work as a planner because it's just dailies. Like, there are no weeklies, and I just feel like here's what I had for my to-dos, and trying to give myself some structure for a daily planner, and I couldn't do it. It just didn't work for me. I have some other ideas for, this is an avec, so I have some other ideas for the other half of this avec for the next half of the year, but I found it wasn't really working for me. I love the cover. I might come back to it later, but at this point it wasn't working. So let's see. Yeah, February, Valentine's week is when I started using it. So I mapped out all of my meetings for work. I mapped out some to-dos, and that's how this has ended up working for me mostly. So I'll just flick to this week. So this is last week, in fact, maybe a week and a half ago. And I just have some deco. These toasts are from Hubman and Chub Girl. I'd put a big to-do here, and I'd write a running to-do list there, and then I'd write my plans here. Kind of fell off. I did the to-dos, no problem, but I kind of fell off the rest. But what I used this for primarily is the notes section. So you can see I've got videos, series, reels, photos, posts, to-do, wish list, Herald, which is a work thing, journaling, 2024 planner plans, journaling, and a commercialization workshop. And then there's more stuff as well in the back that I haven't filled in. So I just write the title at the top with some pretty sad lettering and just listed out stuff I want to do. All my lists. This is just a book of lists, and then a little bit of notes and things at the back of, you know, workshops that I attend, or a couple of work meetings, mapping out my bathroom storage. This is a YouTube video I watched, another one I watched, some actual work notes, some research for YouTube, planning out the planner that I'll show you in a minute, and then planning out work meetings and things. And then I've just sort of been working on a planner routine as well. So that's in there. A few pen tests and things at the back, some stamping tests. They're pretty cute. And that was good. The back end worked really well for me. The planning stuff I kind of fell off of, as you can see. And I think the reason I fell off of that is because I decided to pick up a new work planner and a new personal planner. We'll come to those a bit later. So this guy, I think second half of the year is probably not going to be with me anymore. I think I'll be shelving this one. I had this book in my lineup as well, and this one is my ink swatch journal. 100% happy to keep this, but I just haven't had time to do ink swatching. So I absolutely love how this works. It just looks so beautiful, but you can see I've only done one ink in here. I've got so many. I really plan to do heaps. I wanted to sort of show how different it looked on different paper. So this is Midori paper here, and you can see that beautiful dark teal. And then on the Hobonichi paper, it's a lot lighter. I love how it looks on different papers. And, you know, my lettering's not great, but whatever. I'm just going to continue with this. I might change the cover out because I'm kind of thinking about going a bit more neutral in the second half of the year. So let's see where we go with that. This was a new cover also that I bought in 2022, for 2023, sorry. And I really love this cover. It's very pretty. And you can see this is 2022, but I was going to put 23 as well here somehow. I probably will take the numbers off and just rejig them. But this was my one little word book, and I was just recording notes about that in there, very minor, but I thought what it might become is like a learning journal. Not sure what I will do with it. I really am not sure. I feel like I have some other things now that I'm using for learning, so I might not use it. I have the matching A5 of this. This is the A6 just with a notebook in it, a Hobonichi notebook. I have the A5 version of this, but it's at work at the moment, and it is my workbook. It's just a notebook. It's a Stellargy, and that's probably just going to stay at work for random notes. I don't think I'll bother. I don't think I'll get rid of it because it's got tons of notes in it already that I need to reference, and sometimes it's good to have big space to map out projects and things. So at the moment, this book is unused and might remain unused, I think. I've got my 5-year journal. This is 100% staying with me. I love it. I have been pretty good at keeping up with it. There's just a gap there at the beginning of June that I haven't quite finished, but the rest of it is done. What I do enjoy is that I'm really keeping up with it quite well. It's the health journal. I'm supposed to be recording meals and how I'm feeling, symptoms, anything like that in there, which I'm doing, but I'm also writing a little snippet of the day, which then reminds me when I go back to do this one. So I do this every day, but this one is more like weekly or fortnightly. I'll go back and catch up on what's been happening in there. But it's working. It's still beautiful. This red leather cover is not showing any signs of wear and tear at all. There maybe are a couple of tiny marks on the back, but they're really virtually impossible to see. I'm really impressed with how this cover is holding up. It's just lovely. And I have my Kaweco Ruby Sport there on the side, which I've been using, and I'll switch to a different ink, probably a different pen next year when I move to 2024. So I also have this book in my lineup, and this, I really love how this one looks. It's a cousin avec. It's fabulous. It's really beautiful. That's some ephemera I will need to journal about at some point. And again, with the pretty deco at the front, my YouTube tracker here. I need to do May and June. It's just going back and tracking what videos I published and some stats and things. This is super cute sticker spread for December. Then again, tracking Instagram and YouTube posts in here, a few stats over here as well. I'm not sure if I'll keep up both or anything. This planner is one where I'm not sure if I'm going to keep it. So let me just flick to just putting cute stuff in here because it's gorgeous. So what I loved about this cousin and why I came back to it was for this type of journaling. I absolutely loved this way of recording memories, but I don't know, I can't keep up with it. I fell over in mid-March. So, 2.5 months, and that's it. That's all I could get through. I just did a beautiful spread here for Hubman and Chub Girl, which I loved, but I don't know, couldn't do it. I'm not sure. I'd love to because I really love the way this looks, but I just can't I can't commit to it with everything else going on at the moment as well. What I have got in the back of this book though is my Hobby Hoppers Magic Maker information. So let's cover this side up. But I set up this for content planning, washi swatching, analytics, and ideas. And in here I've done some rainbow swatches, some pink swatches of washi. I've got some bunting with some lawn fawn card that was just kind of extra to another project that I did. We've got vintage washi in here as well. And then at the back, I've got some information stored. Let's see. I've just put in some cute vellum. I've got some swatching here from other shops. Some more cute vellum, but nothing behind these. These are just, I set up the start of each month and then I didn't do anything else in here. So honesty here. I'm not going to keep going with this. I'll keep it for the washi swatching pages, and I'll continue to swatch washi for hobby hoppers in this section. But I think that's all this is going to be used for. So I don't know if I'm going to have a cousin in the next half of the year. I think I won't. Wow, except this one, of course. But this is an Avec. I'm just going to keep going in the pages that I'm on, and probably won't continue with that. So let's move you to the side. During the year, I introduced this Thinking of You planner, which, I mean, I just love it. But again, it's one that I could not keep up with. I think I talked about this recently in my chatty walkthrough of my creative journal, and we need to look at that in a minute as well. I didn't touch the front of these sections, but I really enjoyed just decorating the cover pages of each month. And then I started it when I got it, basically. So I skipped a few months because I didn't start till March, I think. Yeah, here's March's setup. I think it's super pretty. And then I started to decorate these pages with the plan to write in here. The columns are probably a bit skinny until you get to some other pages where the columns are quite wide. So I just kind of played in here with deco because I just wanted to try out the stickers and how they work together, like how they look together. I love this one. This is all transfer stickers, just beautiful. So, you know, I hope you can see where I was going with this. And it was just there. I think just March is all I worked on because I was in North Queensland with my family, taking care of my mum actually. And I wonder if that's why. It was kind of something that I did when I was just exhausted. I would work all day from maybe 7:30 till 6 p.m. And then I'd cook dinner. And throughout the day, I'd be helping mum wherever I could, but I'd be working a lot. And then in the evenings, I'd cook dinner and then I'd just be exhausted. And so I would just do this, and that's kind of as far as I got. And I wonder if it's because it had been just condensed into that pretty sad moment in time. You know, the month that I was there was highly emotional, and my mum's in a lot of pain, and it was pretty difficult. So I wonder if I'm just associating that painfulness with this book and therefore haven't gone back to it. I mean, I've got a bunch of other books as well, so it's not really like I need it. But I really did enjoy these little spreads, even though I've only done a few of them. So it's a book I'll keep on the shelf, and I might come back to and add things to, or just play in when I want to, but it is not a part of my lineup. What has become part of my lineup though is the Traveler's Notebook system. And it started with this one. This is my Passport Traveler's Notebook, and in the blue, and it's the first one I got, and I'm just in love with it. Check out all of the marks and patinaing we've got happening on this beauty. It's got this kind of sea green kind of look to it. I love it. So this is just a Ollie clip from Point Blank Co Stationery. It's a little Dior one. And inside here, I've got the wallet sleeve. This has the zipper pocket where I've just got some washi samples. I don't really use them because I don't take this out of the house too much. I've usually got all my washi with me. The back of it just has some dots there, and in here I think I've just got some PET offcuts. But I now have another way of dealing with those, so I'll show you that. So this first section is my planner companion, and I have filled this whole book just with thoughts about my planners and journals, and you know, deciding on what to buy last year in September in 2022, and then what I did buy and that I was going to use them all for, and things I wanted to change, and prepping for the new year, some ideas that I wanted to look into, a little bit of swatching. But then I bought a big tin. I'll show you that in a minute. And then I made decisions about what I was going to do there. I've marked this off with some washi because I like this list of things that I want to record. So that has helped me with planning out what I'm going to do for the next half of the year. I've done this next planner lineup about 3 times. So this is not the final one. That final one is going to happen after this video. I'm not 100% sold on the final idea yet, but we're getting there. And, you know, it's always a work in progress, which I love. I love just trying new things and changing things out. I think that's the whole point of this channel, was I started just changing things, trying new things and seeing what worked. So here I have, I think it's time for another list for non-work related stuff. What do I need? And I listed out everything that I needed, and looked at what I would share on social media and what I wouldn't share on social media. So therefore I'd probably need a book that was separate if I wasn't going to share it. Some ideas for some new books I wanted to work on. Sunday night thoughts. And you can see I've just decorated each page with a couple of bits of PET tape or washi tape. That's it. Here's where I finished last night. Still not sure. So a couple of pages left and then this book will be done. So I'm going to continue with this book. I'm going to just get another insert, pop it in here and continue because it works so well. I pick this up every night nearly and write a few thoughts down and it works. So this insert is a sticker release paper, this super cute sticker from Layla's Loft on the front here, and this really adorable one from Marshmallow Studio. And in here I'm putting in all those offcuts of PET tape. You know, if you decide halfway down the tape that you want something different and then you've got that first bit that you didn't use, I cut all them out in the evenings or when I'm just watching TV and have popped them in here. You can see gaps where I've used some already, and I just grab something from here and pop it in here to decorate that page. You know, decorate very simply, but it's enough for what I want in here. So there's a bunch of different designs in here from a bunch of different artists, predominantly Peon. I think this is Meow Illustration, and we've got La Dolce Vita as well. And these circles, I can't remember what that designer is called, I'm sorry. And so that's the whole book, but there's gaps, you know, that's the good thing. You use them out of here so you can keep topping it up, which is awesome. And in the back is a new introduction to the system, and this is personal journaling. So I'm not going to share this. Super private journaling that I don't want to share, and this is going to come out of here, and I'm going to move into something else. I'm not sure what. Stay tuned. That's what this last bit of journaling in here was about. I've said here, so I'm thinking my everyday journal, personal journaling, could be in an A6 Avec because I have one. They're a good size. My concern is that they'll double up with my creative journal. I think I have to be clear with myself, and that the creative is for ephemera and junk, and the days don't matter. The other option I had was putting it in a passport notebook and putting that inside of another TN, or just having it in the passport notebook on its own. So that's where I'm at with that, still deciding what to do with that guy. While we're here, let's have a look at my creative journal. I have done a full and complete flip of this on my channel just recently. So it's just got junk and ephemera and happy mail and postcards and writing and just things that bring me joy predominantly. There's a bit of sad journaling in there, like that page, for example. And then this is how it started with the collage journaling that was in that Thinking of You book as well. I was super into it, and it just takes up so much time that I forgot to use this book. I just didn't want to because of the amount of time it would take to do things. So I just watched a show on binge called The Swarm, and this was a symbol of the unknown, and this was on my side table while I was watching it, so I just decided to draw it and play. I love this now. Like, I wasn't sure about it for a while because I was just trying to stick with the collaging, and I just found myself not having time to do it, you know, pretty and neat, and so therefore I wasn't doing anything in here. So now I just do whatever I want. So it's staying for sure. We're finished. I might put a few more things in there. Don't care about the blank pages. Go watch that other video if you like, because we talk a lot about blank pages in there, and, you know, making sure whether we care about the dates or not, all that kind of stuff. So this is staying probably in this cover. Not sure, but this was the Avec, so the other Avec will go in here soon. And then I added this gorgeous thing. Oh my goodness, I am absolutely in love with this book. So this is my black TN that was from Baumkuchen and customized beautifully with this pocket on the front with the wabi-sabi stamping there, and I've put the gold band on it. I've grabbed a camel Sarasa Grand pen, and the ink is the Uni 1 ink that I love so much. Now I've just realized I can't show you in here because I've got my cards. So let's see. Okay, so on this side I don't have anything, just those rivets, and then I've got a card pocket here that has my some of my cards in there. On the other side of here, it's just my medical cards, but let's not show them. I've got this book in here. So this is a diary insert from Traveler's Notebook. It's called Weekly Plus Memo, and it has the year at a glance. It has the from July, this is a July to December book, so it has July through October and then November through February here in that kind of yearly overview look. And then we dive straight into the monthly section. So this starts on the 26th of June, which actually is tomorrow. I can start using this tomorrow. I'm very excited. And you can see it has that Hobonichi week's layout, the Monday through Sunday on the left, and then the big a memo page, they're calling it, here on the right. So if we were to grab, so here is, you know, the book on top of the other one. You can see there's quite a bit of extra space. If I put the two weeklies side by side, we've got tons more writing to fill in. It's wider and it's taller as well. So this gap is quite big. And then for the memo page as well, obviously there's tons more space. And I think it's going to be really good. I'm pretty excited about it. All right, so in the back here, I've got the other side of that card holder. And then in this book, this is just a notebook. I've shown this a few times, I think. I've got one of Megan Rhiannon's gloomy cards on here, and I've got the February memo from Brandon Kincaid here. And on the inside, another gloomy and another Brandon Kincaid. And this has some words on the back, which are beautiful as well. This is a blank notebook at the moment. It's from Helen McLean Leather Goods. She did some samples and gave them to us to try out. This one is numbered, so it's 1 through 64 pages in here, and it's bright white paper, and I'm told it's good for fountain pens. We'll see how that works. And then right at the back, I have the card wallet here. I've just taken the cards out for privacy reasons, of course, but I've got those in here, which is my credit card, my driver's license, my 2 personal credit cards, and 2 work credit cards as well. Down here, I've got a little Trust the Process embossing as well from Baumkuchen. And one thing I forgot is in the pocket in the front, I have some money, a receipt that I need for work, and I think, yeah, a couple of just $2 coins in here, which I'm going to put in the coffee jar at work. I've got a little jar at work where people who buy me coffee, because I don't have time to leave my desk, can just take some money out of there. So that's my everyday planner. I think, you know, I'm not sure what I'm going to call this, because this is where I'm going to do all of that planning. Remember in this book at the back, I had all those lists. So all of these types of things I'm going to have in that other book in here. I'm not sure I'm going to keep this book or if I'll use a standard TN book. I don't know if you noticed, but let me open this again. The grid on this is quite big, like it's huge. Let's measure it. Okay, it's only 5 millimeters, but it feels really big. So I'm not sure. I'll see how I go. I'll definitely try it because I would like to try it. And the paper is so smooth and white. So I'll give it a go and see how it works. But yes, that's going to house all the lists. I'm just so used to a teeny tiny Hobonichi grid. it's 3.7 or 3.8 mil. So it doesn't sound like much more, but it makes a big difference when you're writing in it. So anyway, this is where the obsession became real with the TNs. And shortly after, I grabbed the camel. I love the camel as well. Like these two are just my favorites in terms of how they look. This guy so far is my favorite in terms of functionality, or you know, how much I use it. So this camel is so beautiful. My goodness, it's just glorious to touch. And in here, it's my commonplace book. So again, Brandy and Megan helped me out at the front of the book. I've got some notes in here on articles that I've read or things that I've watched, and I've got some other things I need to pop in here as well. I've got this 3 trifold folder in the back here with nothing in it yet, and a sticker release book also with nothing in it yet. So this folder folds right out, which is pretty cool. So it's there for when I want to throw papers and things in here that I pick up that I want to journal about or commonplace. And I thought the sticker release book might be useful for when often I just get in a roll and print stuff. And if I can print out these little titles of my papers that I'm reading, then they can just be ready to be popped in there when I'm ready to do the commonplacing. So that's been super handy as well. So let's talk about work. I grabbed myself an olive TN when they came out. So this is the olive passport, as you can see. I've got the little camera charm on there. It's super cute. I made 3 inserts for it. Didn't make them. They're TN inserts. They're just the dot grid insert. I made 1 for notes, 1 for meetings, and 1 for my team. I used it a couple of times and then I stopped using it. I just think it's a bit too fiddly for work. For me, work needs to be easily accessed. So remember earlier I said I had the A5 version of this fruit tree planner cover. I've got the Stellargy work for notes, so I've kept that as is. But what I have done, and you've seen this if you've been watching my channel at all, is I've got the Paper Tess Designs yearly notebook. Oh, I've got Ollie clips everywhere today. And I've just popped a few sticky notes in the front here, and I've set up here. Obviously I'm not using the front of the planner because it's January through June, but it's a new financial year on July 1 for Australians. So I'm going to put our yearly objectives here and our budgets here. I've just left it like that because I'm not sure how much space my objectives I got to take up. So if it takes up more than a page, then I'll put the budgets here because I've got the room for it. And then I've got my July spread, which I adore. And then my July budgets, objectives, events, and highlights are going to go in here. And then I have space for the week in terms of appointments. I've got a this week to-do list, and then I've set it up for Monday, the 3rd of July. And this planner has Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and then the next week starts. So I haven't labeled every day because I don't work Saturday and Sunday. So I expect, I'm happy if Monday was to sort of finish here somewhere and I start Tuesday here. That's no problem for me. I'm super happy for that. As long as well, it'd be nice to have enough room for all 5 days in this section. But if not, like I said, I've got my A5 notebook, but also in the back, there are some pages at the back as well. There's 20 or so pages there, 25. I've done a pen test and worked out that the Uniball 1 is the best pen ink to go with a mild liner. So in here, I'm going to have, I've just got it here actually. I'm going to be putting it all in this Delphonics pouch. I'm going to have my neutral mild liners and my Sarasa Grand pen, which has, again, the Uni 1 ink in it. This is my fountain pen, my Kaveco student that will not go to work with me, but I used this pouch yesterday at a planner day, so I took that pen with me then. Okay, so that's the work planner, and yeah, I'm loving it, but I haven't started using it yet. I love the idea of it, so let's see how that works for me. So let's bring everything together and we'll have a quick summary of what we're doing, everything that we're keeping, even though we may not be keeping it in the books that they're in. So we've got our 2 standard traveler's notebooks, we've got our work planner and our creative journal. That's all staying. We've got our planner companion and our 5 here. This guy is going to go because he's been replaced by the black standard 10. The health journal is going to stay. It's working brilliantly. I'm probably going to remove this learning book because I want to stick the learning in the commonplace book, which is the brown TN. And the swatch journal will stay, but I think I'll switch out the cover. My olive TN I think will stay as well, but it might just end up being notes. I mean, it's got inserts in it that say notes, meetings, and team. Those little Motex labels can come off and I can replace them with something else. So it's obviously staying because I adore it, but I haven't quite decided on a use for it yet. All those notes about that are in here. What I will be adding though is an Avec for my personal journaling. I think that's the current plan. So hopefully you can see multiple books here, but I've kind of got reasons for each. I know you could probably say, hey, why don't you just get a cousin and then this and this and this, and probably these 2 could all really be done in a cousin. Good point. I did talk about that in my planner companion. This is super easy to hold and just sit on the couch and have it with me. I love that it's kind of separate and I can just write in it whenever I like. Yes, this could go in a cousin, but I just love the size of the A6 for it. It's just a really good little, nice little compact size. I don't love the idea of having to try to fill a whole page with ephemera and journaling. The health journal, I just want to keep separate. I don't want to have details of my personal health situation in an everyday book that I take with me and could lose or other people could look into or whatever. I just want to keep it private. So that's private. The 5-year, sure. The notes that I put in here are what I put in here as well, although I add to this. I don't put the details of my meals and stuff in here. This is more about how the world looks to me right now, and I like the idea of being able to track that over the 5 years, I should say, so we can see how things change throughout the 5 years. So he has his own purpose. This, I just wanted to have it as a wallet so that it's on the go and it's got all the bits in it, and I think that makes sense, right, to have all of those things separately. Of course you can have them all together if you want to, and I used to do that exact thing, but it's a hobby, it's a passion, and my brain needs to separate. So I'm very happy to separate things. So this one will come with me everywhere I go. This one comes when I go to the doctor. Everything else pretty much stays at home. This one will stay on my desk at work. I might bring it home I'll bring it home on the weekends to plan the following week. I'll do little plan with me's, I think, with this one with you on YouTube here. And then the others are just kind of whenever books, you know. I don't have to have like a daily check-in with every book. I just like to have them in case I want to do things in them. I really want to do the ink swatching. Like I said, I might change the cover out of that one. And then, yeah, I think the covers will change a little bit, but not substantially. I just love this one so much, but I do have some very pretty other books that I could use. I like to start my creative journal in a normal cover like this one. I actually am surprised that this leather kind of accommodated the chunk that this one's come up with. It's not a huge chunk, I know, but it's bigger than I thought it would be. You can see there's a line there. What is that, because of the leather inside? Yeah, that's just that bit of leather there. So yeah, I thought about moving this into a 5-year cover as it got chunkier, but I didn't. I just love this one so much. So I probably will, I don't know, maybe I'll change it up for the new financial year just for fun, but I'll probably come back to it. I just love it. Anyway, it's probably enough rambling. That's the review. So now my job is to go and figure out exactly what will come with me and the new covers that'll come with me and everything as well. So if you're interested in seeing that one, please come back and take a look. I am excited to see how it's going to turn out. We've talked about the things that are staying, and we've talked about what I might be adding. So I really want to do some of that today. I'd like to get a number of things sorted today if I can, and then have a plan for the new year. There's another book I'm going to add, which is really fun, but I won't talk about that now. We'll talk about that when I add it, I think. So that's it from me. Let me know what you think of this review. Are you similar? What have I got? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 at the moment. 9 books on the go, plus the Stellargy at work, which is just a notebook, so I'm not really worried about that one. Cool. I think that's good. It's less than what I started with at the beginning of the year. And, you know, I've added and removed as time has gone on as well. So I think it's nice. It's going to be a fun start to July and onwards. And yeah, it's always nice to have that fresh start, isn't it? I've had this black standard for quite a long time, but I haven't written in it yet, as you could see, because I think that freshness is scaring me. It's such a beautiful book. I've just been scared to write in it, but I will be today because it starts tomorrow, and I'm keen to start mapping out some plans for July, and also for those lists, taking those lists out of my old weeks and moving them across and tidying them up and really getting to know them again about what I want to do with them, what I want to start putting into place, projects and things like that. The other thing is I will try to decide whether I need a monthly in here. I think I probably don't. This one has appointments for the doctor and stuff like that in it, so I probably don't need it, and I have monthlies in my work planner. But we'll see. We'll see if I need it, because sometimes it's nice to have that kind of overall view. But I am traditionally pretty poor with monthly planning, although it's pretty good in here, I have to say. I was surprised at how good that was. Okay, rambling Desley is in place now, so let's stop that. All right, everyone, thanks so much for being here. Thanks so much for watching. If you want to leave me any comments about the books that you have in common with me, or if you're similar with the sheer number of books that you've got going on, do you like to compartmentalize? Do you like to put everything together in one book? Are you a one book person? Because my goodness, one book people are awesome. I don't know how you do it. But also, like I said, it's a hobby. I do like to have all the covers and play with setups and things like that. That's one of my favorite parts. I think we all love the setup process, don't we? Okay, must stop talking. Thanks again. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you all super, super soon. Thanks, guys. Bye.